So welcome everybody to the first of two main Easter eggs in Call of Duty World War II Zombies. Now this is the first Easter egg. This is the quote unquote easy mode Easter egg. So if you're looking for a nice entry Easter egg, we're gonna be doing this one here today, and then I will have the hard mode Easter egg tutorial in the link in the description whenever it is found, and I have the tutorial uploaded. So make sure you guys stay tuned, make sure you guys stay subscribed. But without further ado, I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right into it. This is how to do the entire thing from start to finish and getting the cutscene. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Let's go ahead and get into it. So the first thing you need to do is open up the bunker door. So there are a couple of different lines of gas that come out of this machine right here on my left that you need to go ahead and fill up. Two of them are inside of the starting area, and one of them you're going to have to open up one of the doors for. The first one is right there. There are basically three different gas valves. If you just follow the lines of gas, you'll find each and every one of them. And you need to hold square on these gas valves and let them turn all the way. If you have the camouflage perk on solo, this is probably the best way to do this. Or if you have a team member, just have them train the zombie, follow all three lines of this gas line down through the gates. This was a gate right here that you have to open up. It costs a little over 1,000 points, so go ahead and buy that. And then go ahead and spin this one, hold square on this one, and you will fill up all three valves. And then once you do that, come over here and hold square to activate this pilot light and blow open the well. There will be a couple different zombies that spawn in. Go ahead and just finish them all off, kill them all off, and then actually jump down here in the well itself. Now you're gonna see a perk machine down here, and then a little bit past that, there's going to be a generator on the wall right here that you're gonna go ahead and hold square on to enable the power, and now you can actually open up the bunker door now that it is powered. It will cost a little over 1,000 points once again, but once you do that, go ahead and head down inside, and then it's going to tell you to open up the salt mine door, which is right here behind where I'm standing right there on the wall. This is the salt mine door where basically you're gonna be spending most of your Easter egg time. So the first thing you need to do is open up both of these doors right here, because both of these are timed. You are gonna have to do them pretty much as quickly as possible, but go ahead and run down each one of these two paths, and you're going to activate two different power switches and then run and activate the other one in a ample amount of time, because if you take too long, it will reset. You'll have to start over again. But the first one is right through here on this wall. So go ahead and activate that, hold square on that. You're gonna hear that timer start ticking, and then you're gonna run all the way back through the main room onto the other side to go ahead and grab the second switch. You can just take the route I'm taking here. It's very, very easy. And whenever you get that, both doors will be powered, and then you are able to buy the salt mine door once again for a little over 1,000 points. So right over here, this is the second one. Both very, very easy to find, and all you have to do is open up those two doors to get them. So now we can go ahead and open up the salt mine door and continue on with our quest. So once opening up the salt mine, you need to head down here, kill all three of these big zombies down here, and then go ahead and hold square on the hilt up here to go ahead and turn on this soul box. So once you have the soul box on, you will see a red line on the floor all the way in a circle around here. You have to kill a certain number of zombies in this circle, and this is true of every single soul box in this game, so just keep that in mind. Anytime there's a soul box, there's a red line that you have to kill zombies inside. So go ahead, kill them all. Once you're finished filling them up, go ahead, head back up here, and then you need to hold square on this machine right here. It's already opened up in the gameplay I'm showing you guys right there, but you need to hold square on that machine to open that up, and then once you do that, the power will be off, everything will be off up here, and you can head up here and go ahead and turn on the transfer device, and it'll start moving. Now this thing is basically a moving soul box. This is probably the longest single step in this entire Easter egg, because you have to stay inside of this little soul box area. You don't have to stay inside of it, but you just have to be moving along with it, and it will stop at multiple points during this track, and you have to kill zombies inside. As you can see, if you kill zombie close enough inside, it will kind of have this little electricity come out from its head, and it will keep on moving. You have to do this and basically lead it all the way down to the very, very end of this hallway, where you will see this happen right here, and then you are able to grab the first part of the Tesla gun once it finishes charging up. Honestly, this part is just a lot about survival. If you're doing this solo, monkey bombs really help for this, or jack in the boxes, whatever you want to call them. And you need to grab this piece right here. Now, once this is done, you need to follow it all the way back up to the surface. You won't have to follow it back up. You won't have to kill any more zombies or anything like that. It'll automatically go all the way back up to the surface, and once it reaches the middle point where it started, it will go down the other side, and you have to do basically the same thing again. It'll stop at a couple different points during this little process here, and you have to keep killing zombies. Once it reaches the end, the device will charge up, and you'll actually get the second part to the Tesla gun, and then you can move on to actually crafting this thing and finishing it off.
So
So once you grab both parts, you need to make your way back up to the surface, and there's going to be a very, very powerful flamethrower zombie up here. This thing is very, very dangerous, and it can kill you very, very quickly. So be careful with doing it, especially if you are doing it solo. But we took it down pretty darn easily with 4 players, and he is going to drop a head once you kill him. Now, this head is used for a later step in the Easter egg, so just make sure that you take this head and you place it in a place that you're gonna remember. So I just put it right in the middle of this room. It's gonna stay there the entire game. Really no issue at all with leaving it wherever. You just need to remember where you put it because you're gonna need it later on. And then once you do that, just wait for the little transfer device to finish moving all the way back up from where you just collected the last Tesla part, and then go ahead and hold square to assemble the Tesla gun. And then once you see it finish being assembled, go ahead and pick that bad boy back up and then head back down to the bottom of the layer where you are going to go on with the next step. So once you have gone back down here, just hold square to examine the right hand of God, and it's gonna give you the next step of the quest, which is to route the power. So make your way back up to the main room where you just got the Tesla gun, and then you're gonna hold square on this little platform right here, and you're going to take note of the colors. So mine is red, blue, red, blue. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn my first one to red, and then you're gonna follow the route that I take right here to keep on routing the powder, because this is another time step. If you mess up, you just have to go back over and start over. So mine is red, blue, red, blue. The first one I turn to red, the second one I'm going to turn to blue. Once again, this is a timed step, so make sure you go as quickly as possible. Second one is right here, right next to the blood room. So go ahead and turn it to blue. Once you're in the blood room, just keep on continuing through to the back left corner. And once you're over here in the back left corner, you can go ahead and turn this one back over to red. So there we go, it's red, blue, red. And then the last one is blue. And I need to make my way over to the tower and route the power completely over there to turn on the lightning rods for the next step. So make your way through the route that I'm taking right here. I'm not speeding it up or anything like that, so you guys can make sure you learn the correct route, because this is kind of a beginner's guide right here. So there we go, we're on to the last one. Turn it to blue, just wait for a few seconds, you'll hear the electricity one more time, and it'll give you the next step to activate it and defend the control lightning rod. So let's go ahead and do that now. So what you do here is head back over, just keep continuing on from where you were right there, and you're gonna hold square to start the lightning rod defense. Now, this lightning rod has a certain amount of health, and the zombies will go and try to attack it. Not every single zombie, so just be aware that there are some special zombies that will not go for you, and there are some like kind of boss zombies that will actually go straight for you and will not even go for the lightning rod. But basically, you just need to kill them off of it before these guys can go ahead and take out the lightning rod, and you need to do this basically 2 times. The first time is going to be just a normal defense right here, like you see. Everyone's gonna just go for one of them. Make sure you're using your super abilities, especially if some sort of flamethrower zombie or boss zombies show up, because you want to take these things out as quickly as possible. But basically, the zombies are going to start attacking it. You have to defend it, and then you'll see what happens again in a second here. But I do recommend getting a pack-a-punch gun for this. This is probably one of the harder things, and also a jack-in-the-box, especially if you are playing solo. It's like near impossible if you're playing solo, or it's very, very risky to do. So get a jack-in-the-box. Go ahead and pack-a-punch your guns. If you don't know how to pack-a-punch, I will have a link in the description to my pack-a-punch tutorial that you need to go ahead and have. So once you finish off the first lightning rod defense, it will say you need to activate the 2 secondary rods. This doesn't have to be done right away, but I do recommend that you go ahead and get this thing done on an earlier round before the zombies get too powerful. And you're gonna do the same thing, except you're gonna have 2 different defense points. There are 2 different health bars, and you need to defend against both of those. So once you finish all those, you are completed with this step, and you can move on to the next one. All right, so once finishing up this lightning rod, you need to go ahead and route the lightning back to the right hand of God, and that one will be done. Now, you are halfway through with these hands. Obviously, now you have to do the left hand of God, and to do this, you need to head outside. After activating that right hand, you're gonna see this blimp up in the air. It's gonna have 4 lights that periodically light up on it whenever it's firing missiles at you, and you need to destroy one of these lights in order for it to drop a battery here that turns into a soul box, and you need to start filling it up with zombie souls. This is a little stressful. Once again, having jack-in-the-box helps a lot with this, and it will get you a lot closer in. But once filling it up with souls, it will actually explode and turn into a much smaller battery that you can actually pick up and move around the map. Now, once again, just because mine drops super, super close to me doesn't mean yours is gonna drop super close. Just keep in mind, whenever you blow up that light, it can drop anywhere on the outside, so just keep on running around until you find that, that particular part, and go ahead and pick it up. Now, once you have it, you need to take it all the way down into the layer and carry it down there and give it to the left hand of God, and you're gonna have to do this 3 times. Now, keep in mind, whenever you're running down here, there will be zombies that spawn in. Even if you're on your last zombie, there will be a couple extra zombies that spawn in. I recommend just dropping the battery, killing them off real quick, keeping 1 more zombie, and then inserting it into the left hand of God, and then immediately heading right back outside, and you have to do the same exact thing 2 more times. Now, the only difference is on the very, very last one that you do, the very, very last like battery that you shoot down out of the sky. After you shoot down from the blimp, you're gonna go over to it just like normal, and it's gonna be a soul pillbox, except right when you get to it, it's gonna get sucked back up to the blimp. It's gonna be kind of like a fake one to fake you out, and this only happens on the last one. So after you get faked out by it, after you shoot it down, grab it, you're gonna have to shoot down the light one more time, and then you're gonna fill up the battery just as normal and take them all down to the left hand of God. Once it has all three, you are good to go, and we'll move on from there.
All right, now to turn this thing on.
All right, so after you place in all three, you need to go ahead and just activate the left hand of God, and you have both of those completed and powered up. Next up, you need to go ahead and grab that Brenner head that I told you guys to remember where you placed it earlier, and you're gonna go on this route from the main room, writing down the symbols or just taking a picture with your phone of the symbols that are shown on each one of these things. You need to basically write down all four of these symbols or take a picture of them. But you go ahead and you hold L2 while holding the head to reveal on this picture a kind of like phoenix symbol or a bird symbol, and then a Roman numeral from 1 to 5. So you need to write down, if you just want to take a picture, you need to take a picture of both of them, or if you want to write it down, you want to say like right facing bird, you do like number 1, or for that one right there, like front facing bird, number 2. All you need to do is just know which symbol corresponds with which Roman numeral from 1 to 5. That's literally all it is, and you need to do that for 4 different pictures that I'm showing you the route to go on right here, so you don't miss any of them at all. So that one right there is left facing bird, number 1. I just write that down and continue on. There's a right facing bird, there's a left facing bird, and then there is a bird that is kind of like in a moon type shape. I don't know exactly if that's the best way to describe it. And then there's one that faces toward you. So I just do moon bird, front facing bird, right facing bird, and left facing bird. So I just write all those down with the Roman numerals. So that one right there is right facing bird, number 2. So I go ahead, I write all those down, I take note of them, and then I head down to the middle area, kind of where the hand of gods are. And then you need to go ahead and hold square and put each one of those numbers with the symbol that it actually shows you right there. It's very, very easy to do, very self-explanatory. So like if I had right facing bird number 2, I put that number on number 2. And I do that for each one of the 4 things, write them all down, I look at my pictures, and then you go ahead and you hold square at the front of it, and if it says resetting, you did it wrong. But if you see this crazy, crazy giant animation, that means obviously you did it correctly, and you are ready to enter into the boss fight and go ahead and complete this casual Easter egg here. So once you do this, all you need to do is grab the Tesla gun, and then you need to shoot the sword hilt right there to go ahead and burst that little bubble. If you have 4 players, all 4 of you must shoot it all at once. Same thing with 3 players, 2 players, whatever else. Once you burst that bubble, go ahead and run over to it and hold square to activate the hilt. And whenever you hold square on that hilt, that is going to trigger the boss fight, and this is going to put you in here. So make sure you have all your gun pack-a-punch. I really recommend you get a Type 100, and because that's a wall buy in the boss fight area, which is up on the up in kind of like the main spawn area right next to the bunker door or anything like that. You're gonna see the boss intro, and then you're gonna be thrown into the fight. But basically, any sort of MGs, and then or maybe the Type 100, depending on how many players you have. And then obviously the Tesla guns are pretty darn useful for doing boss damage, and also keeping these zombies away from you, because you're basically going to be running one giant circle the entire time. You're basically always gonna wanna be on the move. The boss zombie will do fatal damage to you, so you will lose one of your armors if you just get hit by him once. So you want to make sure you stay as far away from him as possible. He is very, very strong, but he's also very easy to avoid if you just keep running in circles around the map. You're gonna have a few boss zombies, but this is the main idea right here. You need to shoot down the little battery thing from the blimp. It's basically going to be the exact same way, where you shoot down the first battery, you shoot down the second battery, and then you shoot down the third battery. The third battery, the first battery that comes down is a fake, and then you have to shoot it again and you get the real battery. It'll kind of like juke you out on the first one, and then you shoot it again for the second one. And basically what you do with these batteries is you have to fill it up the exact same way as you did before. You have to get all the kills, and then once you get enough kills, it'll turn into a battery that you can pick up and place. And basically all you have to do is do that 3 times, and then whenever you're ready to put it into the boss, you have to shoot him to get him down. That's why I recommend getting the Type 100, so you don't run out of ammo or anything like that. He will stay stunned for only a few seconds. It is kind of difficult to actually get him to go down because he just takes so many bullets, and he only stays stunned for a few seconds. So you basically basically have to stun him on top of the battery, more or less. And you'll see how I do it here. It's pretty easy if you get an MG. I actually recommend the MG is the best gun pretty much in the game at the moment that I've tried out so far. So if you want to use the MG, that's very useful. Once again, Jack in the Box is absolutely a necessity here. And basically, all you need to do is just never let the boss get too close to you until you're ready to down him. And whenever you are ready to down him, make sure you shoot the MG and get him down pretty much right on top of the battery, because the more players you have, the shorter time he will have to be stunned. So go ahead, just get it, place it into him while he's stunned 3 times in a row, and you will complete it. There's really nothing else to it. There's nothing that changes throughout this thing. This is the casual Easter egg, or the tutorial mode Easter egg. So it's really not even that difficult of a fight, especially if you have multiple players. Just make sure you're all running in a circle together. And other than that, guys, that is it. All you have to do is complete that 3 times and you will finish yourself the Easter egg. Really nothing else to it. I'm trying to think of any other tips, but that's pretty much it. It's very, very simple, and just make sure you stay controlled, kill off the zombies, and you will be good to go. So anyways, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this Easter egg tutorial. If you did enjoy this tutorial, make sure you go ahead and leave a like on this video and subscribe for more, because we're gonna be hunting for the actual Easter egg, the hard mode Easter egg, that is going to be very, very difficult to find and not nearly as simple as this Easter egg that literally tells you what to do to get you to the boss fight. So make sure you guys stay tuned, make sure you guys subscribe and all that good stuff. I have a ton of tutorials and a ton of like cutscenes and stuff like that in the description if you guys would like to see all of those, if you don't want to see them skipped out on. So thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for coming out. We'll see you all in the next video, and goodbye.